Okay, today we are doing the question number 3 from page 113 of your textbook. So I just read the question first. Question says the resultant of two vectors u and v is perpendicular to the vector u and its magnitude is equal to half the magnitude of vector v. Find the angle between u and v. Question says the resultant of the two vectors u and v. This is the resultant log triangle like this. This will be the resultant. Resultant is perpendicular to u and its magnitude is half of v. 1 by 2 times of v. You have to find the angle between the vectors u and v. I will calculate this angle theta. That means sin theta is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. So sin theta is perpendicular is half v and hypotenuse is v. Cancel, so this is coming half. The value of theta is coming 30 degree. This angle is coming 30 degree, but how do we take the angle between the vectors u and v? Angle between u and v will be this angle. The angle outside, this angle you have to measure. And this will be the angle between the vectors u and v. If this is 30 degree, this is straight line, what is the value of the remaining angle? So 180 minus 30. The answer is 180. So this was the answer for the question number 3. Now this is a question, new question not in the books, but I am just thinking and I have given it to you. It's like this. Question says a car moves due east with a speed of 30 km per hour and then it moves due north with a speed of 40 km per hour. The duration of the entire journey is 2 hours. Find the acceleration produced. First we will follow this mapping, west, east, north, south. Initially the car is going in which direction? Towards east. East means like this. V1 is 30 km per hour. Then is going north, like this, north. V2 is 40 km per hour. We have to find acceleration. Acceleration is change in velocity upon time. We will first find change in the velocity. Delta V will find. That is final velocity minus initial velocity. So the velocities are vector quantity. We are going to subtract them. We are finding the difference, but we cannot simply subtract. We can't directly write 40 minus 30. We cannot do directly. So we have to follow the law of triangle or the law of parallelogram. For the sake of simplicity, we will be following the law of triangle. So this is the equation, vector equation. We will draw a diagram for this. How to draw the diagram? Start with the origin. First one is V2 positive, so V2 remains positive like this. Minus V1. Minus means you have to change the direction of V1. V1 direction is changed. Now it is taken like this. Minus plus V1 is coming this way, but minus V1 will come this way. Where is the resultant? Resultant is from the initial point to the final point. Draw a straight line between the 2 points. So that is the resultant, delta V. So we will find the angle between these two is coming 90 degree. That means you have to use Pythagoras theorem and find the value of delta V. Delta V is coming 30 square plus 40 square. Answer will come 50 km per hour. We are finding change in velocity. It will have direction as well because it is vector. We are finding this angle theta. So tan theta will be perpendicular opposite to the given angle is P. This is base. So 40 by 30. Tan theta is this by this. So answer will come in calculator. You can check is coming 53.1 degree. What direction it is? It is northwest direction. Why? Because we are measuring the angle this way. This is theta. This will be theta. So what direction do you call it? What direction is this? Northwest. So with that we will be writing here. Now after finding delta V, now we will find acceleration. Acceleration formula is delta V upon time. Delta V value is 50 and time given is for the entire journey timing is 2 hours. We will add 2 here and calculate the answer. And we will give an appropriate unit. Unit will come 25 km per hour square. Because this is given kilometer and time is given in hour. And direction will be same as the direction of change of velocity. Direction of change of velocity is this angle, so we will be mentioning the angle as well. So this is the solution for this question. We will do one more question, then we will discuss the other topic. Here is another problem on here. I have written it. An aeroplane circles around an airport with a speed of 100 km per hour. Find the change in its velocity when it completes. There are 2 cases. Case 1 is 1/4 round and case 2 is half round. How to do that? We draw a circle this way. The aeroplane is circling. We are considering 2 points, point A and point B. Suppose at this point the value of speed is how much? 100. Here also it is 100. You will find change in the velocity, but velocity has got direction. We cannot directly subtract and find the answer. You will find the direction of velocity at this point because we are assuming that it is going this way. The direction of velocity in circle is given by tangent drawn at that point. So this is the direction of v1. This will be the direction of v2. V2 is coming over here. We have to find delta V, that means V2 minus V1. We draw a diagram for this equation, vector equation. The triangle will make and find resultant here. The resultant is delta V. We start with the origin node. First we have V2. V2 is going down. So draw it down. V2. Value will not change. Value is 100 km per hour. Here also it is 100 km per hour. V2 is 100 km per hour. Then from here only we will continue. Minus V1. Minus V1 will come this side. This side is plus V1, and that side will be minus V1. From here we will be doing minus V1. Value will not change. I mean magnitude. Direction is only changing that I am putting a minus sign here. So where is the resultant of these two? Resultant will come over here. But this time resultant is delta V, so that is delta V. Let us find delta V value. Delta V will be coming like Pythagoras theorem here. Delta V square is equal to this square plus this square. We do 100 square plus another 100 square. Delta V value will come 141.4 km per hour. And when these two of them are equal, so angle will come 45 degree. You can mark the angle anywhere of it, tan theta. Tan theta will be coming perpendicular by the base, 100 by 100, coming one level, theta is coming 45 degree with vertical, we mentioned that. With vertical, this is the vertical line. So this is the answer for this question. Change in velocity will find this much, and theta value is 145. Don't subtract it directly. Don't do like this 100 minus 100, the velocity is coming 0. Speed, change in the speed is 0. But change in the velocity is not 0. It has got direction also. That is answer for the first part. Now the second part, let us check. Again the circle we are making. Here is the point A. We choose the point B now, half round. Half round is from here to here. V1 direction will be like this. V2 direction will be like this. We have to find delta V again, that is V2 minus V1. We will start with this V2 first origin. V2 is like this, value is 100 km per hour. From here only we will continue. Minus V1 will come, plus V1 is this side, minus V1 will come this side only. Minus V1 is coming, same value 100 km per hour. Ultimately we see that two vectors plus V2 vector and minus V1 vector acting in the same direction. When the two vectors act in the same direction, how do we find resultant? Resultant will be addition now because they are in the same direction. 100 plus, their magnitude will be added up. 100 plus 100, answer is coming 200 km per hour. And what direction will it act? It will act in the direction of any one of them. And what is the direction of the horizontal? In what direction? Right side or the left side? Right side. Along right horizontal. Right horizontal. By chance the question asks you in one complete round, the answer will be 0. Because one complete round back to the same point, that is V1 and V2 will act in the same direction, and when you subtract them, V2 minus V1 will do, V2 will come this way, V2 will come this way, and V1 will come this way. They will be in opposite direction, 100 minus 100, and the answer will come 0 there. So that part I did not give, but the answer in that case will come 0. So this is also the solution for this question. Now another question. Difference between scalars and vectors. Scalars are those quantities which has only magnitude but no direction, and vectors are those quantities which has magnitude as well as direction. So there are three criteria a vector quantity must fulfill. First criteria, it must have a magnitude. Second criteria, it must have a direction. And the third important criteria is it must follow law of addition of vectors. So there are two different laws of addition of vectors which I already discussed. First was law of parallelogram and the second was law of triangle. So a vector quantity has to follow or must follow the law of addition of vectors. Then only all the three criteria if it fulfills, then it is a vector. If it does not fulfill any one of these criteria, it won't be a vector. For example, there are some quantities which has magnitude and direction both, yet it is scalar. It is not vector. For example, you must have learned in class 10, current. Current has got direction. In the circuit we show that we mark the arrow for the direction of current. But current has got magnitude also, some ampere. Current has got both magnitude and direction. Still it is a scalar quantity, it is not vector. Why? Because current does not follow the law of addition of vectors. Similarly, we have one more quantity, pressure. Pressure is exacted penetration, it has got direction. Pressure also has got direction and magnitude both. Yet it is scalar because again it does not follow the law of addition of vectors. So there are two such quantities which have got both magnitude and direction, yet they are scalars because they do not follow the law of addition of vectors. And what are the name of those two quantities? Current and pressure. So this is also an important aspect and important exception examples in physics. So if question comes why current is still scalar though it has got both magnitude and direction, answer will say that since it does not follow the law of addition of vectors. So there is a specific law, special laws for their addition. And of course for their subtraction also. Subtraction also we do the same way as addition. Only we change the direction and draw the triangle, either triangle or parallelogram and find the resultant. Okay, now let us take this case. There are two forces, F1 and F2. This is F2. F1 is 3 Newton and F2 is 4 Newton and angle between them is 90 degrees. How to find the resultant force? Resultant force, I am sure you will be joining like this F and finding the value of force by Pythagoras theorem. 3 square plus 4 square, the answer will come here 5 Newton. And of course you will find the angle also. This angle is suppose theta or we may take as alpha. You can find the angle also here. I am sure tan theta will use this by this, 4 by 3 will come, the value of theta will come 53.1 degree. So that means you can say the combination of these two forces is, or addition of these two forces is 5 Newton. Two forces we are adding up and getting a single value that is coming 5 Newton and it is coming with the direction also because it's vector. So the resultant force is coming 5 Newton and with an angle 53.1 degree with the horizontal. What do you see? You see that there are two vectors. One is horizontal vector and one is vertical vector. How to join them by Pythagoras theorem. Similarly, if we are having a single vector, just see the reverse diagram of this like this. If it is 5 Newton and angle is known 53.1 degree. We assume that every vector is made up of two vectors which will be, one will be horizontal and one will be vertical. So this is 5 Newton if you break it down like this way. One vector will come here, another vector will come here. If this vector is suppose x, we can use Pythagoras theorem. Trigonometry we can use. We can write cos 53.1 degree is equal to x by 5. Therefore, x value will come 5 cos 53.1 degree. Find the answer. Answer will come 3 Newton. And this is suppose y. We will be using sine 53. Sine component, sine value. This by this, y by 5, and the value of y will come 5 sine 53.1 degree, and answer will come 4 Newton. These two answers will come back. This is called resolution. That is, we are breaking. Resolution is breaking a single vector into two parts. One is horizontal part, one is vertical part. That means there are two components. One is called horizontal component and one is called vertical component. When you join these two components, you will get this value. That is, every vector is supposed to be having two components, horizontal and vertical component. This is known as resolution of vector. Resolution is breaking up or separating or splitting a vector into two components, horizontal and vertical component. For the sake of simplicity, we will take like this. Suppose this is F. Here is the angle theta. It will have two components. Here is the origin. We can draw one is horizontal, Another component we can draw here. Instead of drawing it here, we will draw it over here like this. Here only we draw horizontal and vertical. For this component and this component will have the same value. So this component value will be coming in cos form, f cos theta. This component value will become f sin theta. And the logic is the trigonometry of it. If you join it, you get a right angle triangle. This is x, this is y, this is along the x axis, this is along the y axis. The value of x will come cos theta is equal to x by f. Therefore, the value of x will come f cos theta. Similarly, the value of y will come f sin theta. This is called resolution of a vector. Single vector we are breaking into two parts, horizontal part and vertical part. The component which makes angle that will come in cos form and the other component will come in sin form. F multiplied by that, F multiplied by sin theta. That way. Similarly, suppose we are having a force acting in this manner. That this is the force F. What to do? You can break it into two components, horizontal and vertical. This is horizontal and this is vertical. Keep the four vectors in between horizontal and vector. Don't draw horizontal here and vertical here. So this has to be in between the two of them, anywhere but in between. If I mark this angle to be theta, what is the value of this component coming? This will come f cos theta, this will come f sin theta. Similarly, suppose we are having a force over here like this F. We have two components here and here. Suppose here is the angle given theta. This component will come in this form. This will come in, here is the angle, so this will come in cos form. This will come in sin form. F cos theta and F sin theta. Similarly, we have another vector. Another vector, suppose V. It can be any vector, velocity vector, it can be force vector, it can be any kind of vector, acceleration vector. This is V and this is making an angle theta over here. How to break? One component here, another component will draw here. This will come here V cos theta. This will come here V sin theta. Wherever the angle comes from, whichever side makes an angle, that will come in cos form, because that side will behave as a base, and the other side will come in sin form. So V cos theta and V sin theta. So this is how we break a single vector into two components. This topic is known as resolution of vector. We are resolving a vector into two components, horizontal component and vertical component. Just the reverse of the addition. Addition can be combined two vectors and get a single vector. Now we are having a single vector and direction known. We are getting the two vectors of which the given vector is made. So this is called resolution of vectors. So normally if a vector is like this, V is a vector over here. Can we break into components? Answer is yes, we can break into components, but those components will not be horizontal and vertical. It is already horizontal. If a vector is already vertical, so we will not have another component over here. This V we can break into two components in this manner. Like one component here, another component here. These two components must make an angle of 90 degrees because the angle has to be 90 degrees. Right angle angle must be made. So this will be, suppose I mark this angle theta, then this will come V cos theta. This will come V sin theta. But of course these two components are not called horizontal or not called vertical. Simply we don't break the horizontal vector or the vertical vector into components. Normal situation we do not break. But if we have to break, then we will be breaking like this. And those two components will not be horizontal, will not be vertical. Rather they will be in different directions. Their direction will not be fixed. So this time V will be broken in this manner. Suppose we are having another component, another vector V, that is vertical. Can we break into another component? Answer is no. But we can break into another two components, but they will not be horizontal, they will not be vertical. Like this we can break one component here, we can draw another component. These two component angles should look like 90 degrees. I mark this angle theta. Then we can add value here V cos theta, we can add because here is the angle theta, this will come in V sin theta form. Of course these two will not be neither horizontal, nor they will be vertical. So generally the horizontal component and vertical component, horizontal vector and vertical vector, we do not break into components. If any vector is inclined with some angle, so that will break in horizontal way and the vertical way. Horizontal component If the angle is there, it will come in cos form, other component will come in sin form. So this topic is called resolution of vectors.